Yes, thank you very much, Special Envoy. The Right Honorable Raila Odinga, EGH, former Prime Minister of the Republic of Kenya, my colleagues, Cabinet Secretaries, Aiden Duare, the Cabinet Secretary for Environment, Forest and Climate Change, my colleague, new Minister, John Bandi, the Cabinet Secretary for National Treasury and Economic Planning. I want to recognize Special Envoy and the role he's playing in this particular meeting. All distinguished guests seated here, our visitors from different countries, leading the negotiation team. I have seen a list of various countries in terms of recognition. We have the Embassy of Zimbabwe. We have the Embassy of Azerbaijan, and the ambassador, my good friend, is here. Brazil is here. Representative for Embassy of Morocco. The PS for the Kingdom of Eswatini. We met before with her Minister for Housing. And I have Professor Ruth Kaitumuri, World Bank, and other partners are here. The Arab Republic of Egypt, and our county governments as key partners in this particular meeting. I know that we have representation members of Parliament. My former colleague is here. Let me quickly go through my statement and say that it's a great honor, Honorable Prime Minister, even to share this platform with you, and privilege to welcome you all to this crucial meeting, focusing on integration processes between Africa, green climate financing, national designated authorities, and the building climate resilience for the urban poor. This initiative we call BCRAP, housed by my ministry. We appreciate the presence of the former Prime Minister in this particular meeting and our candidate for the Africa Union Commission Chair for honoring and gracing this event. Distinguished participants, your presence here today is a testament to your unwavering commitment to addressing climate change impact in our country, and in our countries, and particularly in the urban areas where I am now engaged, and cities, which is one of the most pressing and emerging challenge for Africa, particularly because of the population growth that we are experiencing in our urban cities. As majority of us in this room may recall, Kenya and Brazil are co-leading the development and operationalization of BCRAP on behalf of the global community, Africa included. Indeed, a prosperous, inclusive, resilient, sustainable Africa in line with Agenda 2063 can only be achieved on the platform of long-term strategy for inclusive, resilient urban development. This included climate proving the new development vision for Africa, urbanization, and assuring that major climate vulnerabilities are adequately addressed in our planning, design, programming, leading to enhanced urban resilience. In this spirit, allow me to acknowledge the presence of all distinguished partners in this hybrid session. We are honored to have you here representing your esteemed organizations who are at the forefront of the global climate financing discourse. Your collective expertise and experience are invaluable as we seek to chart a path towards a resilient future for our urban poor. BICRAP initiative, which was launched by the government of the Republic of Kenya in collaboration with the global and regional partners, is not just a project, it is a call to action, a call to address the critical vulnerabilities faced by the urban poor. And therefore, I want to remind you participants that this initiative is expected to take off completely in all our countries. The initiative seeks to build resilience, enhance adaptive capacities, and ensure that these communities can thrive despite the challenges that we are facing due to climate change. Honorable guests, BICRAP initiative is deeply rooted in the outcomes of 2019 United Nations Climate Action Summit, where global leaders, including our own, committed to addressing climate change with urgency. Since then, we have witnessed an increasing recognition of the need for targeted action and also action and intervention that address the specific vulnerabilities that we are talking about. The African Union, and have referred to our candidate there, during the 37th Ordinary Session in February 2024, further acknowledged the pivotal role of the African green climate financing. And therefore, we're seated here looking for funding, negotiating, noting what the Special Envoy has said, 1% to Africa in terms of drawing funding for climate financing is a joke. It is not, we cannot talk about adequacy, we cannot talk about inadequacy, it's more or less not there. 1% out of 100. I think we have everybody who we need in this room to deal with those figures, and it is urgent, so we need to deliberate with a serious focus to have that parameter changed as quickly as possible. And as we go to COP28, of course, it is expected that we will be able to plan together and agree on how to deal with some of those challenges. And therefore, as we gather here today, it is crucial to focus on the expected outcomes of BICRAP itself. Improving, and the objectives are that we want to improve the living conditions of the urban poor. We also want to have increased access to climate financing, and we want enhanced capacity for local governments. And finally, we want stronger regional and global partnerships built by us. Excellencies, why is this initiative so critical? The answer lies in the stark reality that climate change is already having devastating effects. Moreover, Africa contributes less than 4% of the global greenhouse gas emissions, yet it bears the brunt of climate change impact. This disparity underscores the need for greater support. BICRAP, therefore, is a direct response to these challenges. Honorable guests, the success of BICRAP in our countries, in Africa, as an initiative, hinges on strong partnerships and collaboration. We are grateful for the support so far our partners, including UN Habitat, the African Union, the Commonwealth Secretariat, UCLG Africa, and I want to confirm that we'll be hosting the regional offices here, and the government has approved the hosting. And my ministry will provide facilities to host the office. And others, we also have AFDAN, we have ARIN, and others that have been very instrumental in this work. I would like to express my deep appreciation to the government of Brazil, Turkey, Germany, and other development partners for the invaluable contributions they have given. Let me move quickly and say, as we move forward, Let us remember that ultimate goal for Big Club initiative is to build a better future for the urban poor communities. A future where they are not just surviving, but they are thriving in a climate resilient environment, leaving no one behind. The anchorage of Big Club is therefore a flagship program for African cities within Africa Union Commission, and it's a priority area for the good of the continent. And the Right Honorable Prime Minister, we know that the plight of the urban poor population is a matter so dear to your heart, and you will be the champion for Big Club in the pre and post campaigns for the African Union city, with a government that we fully support. As I conclude, we are looking forward to receiving all the no objection for the pilot countries to facilitate immediate submission of the Big Club Readiness Project to the Green Climate Financing for approval and execution. We are talking about implementation, and we do not have time to deliberate in terms of not making it clear that our action plans are known. We have already had several resolutions. What is needed now is call to action, complete implementation of the resolutions we have agreed, and I'm sure there will be serious resolutions here in terms of funding, in terms of the approach, in terms of the attitude. We must push our partners to open the pass. And you already know that the President of the Republic of Kenya is a champion in this area. His position on change of the architecture of financing is something that Africa must continue to engage with and push so that it happens earlier than later. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Cabinet Secretary. As the Cabinet Secretary said, 50%, the world is urbanizing very rapidly. 50% of the global community is expected to be living in urban areas. Africa is the fastest urbanizing continent, with 60% of our population by 2050 expected to be in urban centers. So building resilience for urban populations is really a very critical thing. And we thank the partnership with UN Habitat, with United Cities and local government, and all other partners. Allow me now, Your Excellency, to invite the Cabinet Secretary who is going to lead the ministerial discussions for Africa, given that Kenya is the chair of the negotiation team, and our Cabinet Secretary will be the lead minister leading the discussions on negotiations. The Honorable Cabinet Secretary for Environment, Climate Change and Forestry. You have the floor, sir.
The Right Honorable Raila Odinga, former Prime Minister of the Republic of Kenya, my colleague Honorable John Bandi from the National Treasury, Honorable Alice Wahome, our Minister for